What percentage of the people show up for the asylum hearing?
We did an expedited pilot with family units this year. Out of those 7,000 cases, 90 received final orders of removal in absentia.
90% did not show up?
Correct.
That's a shocking number. A new stat from the Department of Homeland Security. About 9 out of 10, nearly all asylum seekers, just skipping their court date after being released into the United States.
The DHS secretary says Congress needs to step up now. So will they? Joining us is Border State Congressman Louis Gohmert. Sir, thank you for your time. You just heard the same number that we heard, that folks on the left have heard. What do you think it's going to take to finally, for people to realize that we've got a big problem going on?
Well, good morning, Rob and Jillian, and you're exactly right. That is a big question, and the answer seems to be that the Democrats are going to refuse to do anything to help the situation on the border until the American people make clear that they're not going to put up with Democrats in action in a crisis anymore. It is outrageous, and the 90% is really consistent with what's been going on. The Democrats are not going to spend a dime to help the situation, and so actually they are exacerbating things. They're helping lure more thousands and tens of thousands of people to the border by not doing anything. And the president's doing what he can with what he's got. But one of the things that I'm recommending is, since the immigration judges are simply appointed by the Attorney General, let's take some old Katrina trailers, let's take big tents, whatever we got to do, set them up on the border, have immigration judges right there on the border. So as people claim asylum, you take them right in. You don't let them out on their own recognizance. You give them a hearing right then, that day, and then you deport the 95% that are not given asylum after a hearing. So it is critical, but the fact that we're not doing anything sufficient is also drawing more and more people to the border. It's a vicious cycle.
And sir, what about the safe third country deal that we're starting to see? The Washington Post took some pictures of that piece of paper that the president was holding up yesterday at that impromptu news conference, and they think that they see some lines in there that talk about Mexico potentially agreeing to be the safe third country, which means that people are going to have to go there and stay there until their asylum hearing until there's a determination.
Well, I know a lot of people don't like tariffs. I'm not a tariff fan, but that is leverage the president has to get countries to agree to what they should do. And it appears that that has worked with Mexico, that they are apparently, in many cases, agreeing to be the third country where people stay until their asylum claim can be heard. So that is a huge development. And I know there's some that are saying, oh, no, we already had an agreement with Mexico. Now, there was a small agreement with 3 ports of entry, but nothing like the agreement that the president has gotten. And by the way, when people come into the United States from Mexico, from countries other than Mexico, they really have no right to claim asylum, because you have to be coming from a country in which you have a reasonable fear, and they're coming through Mexico, which means they're in a country where they no longer have that fear. They ought to stay right there in Mexico.
We have a couple seconds left. I want to get your take on this. What do you say to people who say that the president is claiming victory right now, speaking of the tariffs on Mexico, that he's claiming victory over a problem that he created?
Now, that problem has been there. It's been existence for a while, but it's getting worse, not because of the president, but because, as the Border Patrolmen tell me when I'm down there, you guys are luring more in by not doing anything to stop the flood. So it's been a problem long in the making. The Democrats help contribute, Republicans help contribute, but now it's the Democrats that refuse to do anything. They're making it much worse.
Congressman, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Julian.
It is